We're going to move on now to our next presenter, Olli Lodmore. Olli is a member of the Paramedic Society at Liverpool John Moores University and is our student patient experience educator of tomorrow. Olli, over to you, please.
Brilliant. Just checking you can hear me.
Yeah, we can.
Amazing. Thank you. So I'm Olli. So I'm the president of the LJMU Paramedic Society, so Liverpool John Moores University. The Paramedic Society was originally founded in 2020, which was sort of COVID as we know it. And I think that was, speaking to the people who founded that, they made it so that they could enhance the educational experience. All the lectures were given over Teams and these sort of things. So how can you make that better? Currently, we've got 104 members. There's 140 students across all 3 cohorts. It's quite a high uptake, and actually this is the most members that we've ever had, and I think it comes based off the back of the successful year that we had last year. I think it's also important to note that a lot of our members aren't actually paramedics. We have people from the wider healthcare background. We have people who work for St. John and people who are interested in first aid and that sort of thing. So next slide, please. So I do a lot with the student body. I'm the chair of the student council for the College of Paramedics, which are our professional body, as well as being a student representative both nationally and locally. But I think I started my healthcare journey with not wanting to work in healthcare. It was COVID. My mum's a senior nurse at one of the local hospitals, and she just wanted to get me sort of back onto a proper schedule. So I started volunteering in A&E. And that changed sort of the trajectory of what I was thinking of doing. But also the volunteering was really important to me. It gave me a massive chance to sort of give back to a hospital that has given so much to both my mum and me as well. I think it's really important that I do these student voice things because I think the student voice is so important. It is the future of healthcare. We are the future clinicians. It's really important that we're nurtured and we're empowered to be the best clinicians that we can be. And I think our society does that. The next slide, please. So across the UK, there's hundreds of academic societies, ranging from the medic societies who we're linked in with in Liverpool. You've got nursing, you've got OTs, you've got physios, and obviously paramedics as well, and everything else that you can think of. These are people who give up their free time alongside their studies. I'm doing this talk in between night shifts. I finished at 7. I'll start at 7 as well. So very much looking forward to getting back to bed. But it's important. It allows for students to interact outside the traditional settings, the university classrooms, and offers a chance for students to enhance their knowledge. I think the social side of it's really important as well. Quite often we'll meet up and you'll find that students don't actually speak about university or they don't speak about placement, and that's massive from a wellbeing perspective and something that we found definitely beneficial over the 3 years that I've been at university. Next slide, please. So our society is 12 strong in terms of committee members. We have me as the president, and then Freya, who's currently sat on an ambulance outside hospital, as the vice president. We then have a treasurer who is Theo. He essentially just makes sure I don't spend all the money that we have. How our money is sort of it comes about is we charge a membership fee, so it's £7.50 for the full year, and that's free access to things like the CPD events and the socials and those sort of things, as well as us arranging resources and creating things like that for people. It's been at £7.50 for the last 3 years. We've kept it there because we're happy with that. I think that's a price of an airport pint, and I think that's probably a good metric for people. Then we have 2 CPD officers, so we've got 1 year 2 student and 1 year 3 student, and they are our most powerful asset. They use a massive network, mainly through social media, things like LinkedIn, Twitter, and so on, and they'll reach out to people that the students want to come in and do talks. We're very lucky that a lot of people give up their time to come and speak to the student body, and we're so grateful for that. And we've adopted a cradle to grave mantra, which means that we teach everything from maternity, neonates, all the way up to end of life. And as part of that, we value service users' voices as well. So one of the most popular ones that we hosted last year was from Carl Perry, a sudden cardiac arrest survivor, who came and shared his experience. It's really important that we don't lose fact of that actually the work that we do when that person opens the door to us on their worst day of their life. We don't lose fact that they are a person, they're not just a patient. We then have socials. And our socials is our biggest sort of team. We've got one person, Surma, who runs the sober socials, and that's essentially socials that don't drink. It's things like hikes, things like go-karting, paintballing, those sort of things. It's important as well that we understand that we are a diverse profession with a diverse student body, so it's important that we do that. We then have 4 people, so we've got 3 from year 2 and 1 from year 3 who help organise the big socials such as graduation balls, Christmas balls, those sort of things, as well as the in-between socials like Halloween. Fun fact, 2 people showed up to our Halloween social dressed as Ali G. So there we go. We then have charity and outreach, who are 2 strong, 1 year 2 student, 1 year 3 student, and they plan amazing charity events. Our most recent one being our 24-hour CPR marathon, which has helped us raise £3,600 for our local air ambulance charity, who we work very closely with. We've also just gone and supported them at their 2nd ever conference. And these are the opportunities that sort of come from students through our work. Part of that, we do outreach as well. Last week, we were in a school teaching them life-saving skills such as bleed control, how to perform CPR, and how to use a defibrillator. And most recently, our big push has been making sure that CPR training is equitable. There's a massive disparity. If you are a female, you are less likely to receive CPR. So we've also sort of petitioned and pushed the university to spend their money to buy female CPR mannequins and these sort of things to address disparities. Next slide, please. Last year's events, as I said, cradle to grave. So this is just a brief overview of what we've done. The CPD engages our students. It's exactly what the students want. We go at the start of the year and say, let me know, what sort of things you want to do, and we'll figure out how we can put it on, and we do, and I think that's very impressive. Socials, as I said, it's a great way for those students to engage outside the study settings. One of the big things is that students from level 4, 5 and 6 don't get that chance to sort of speak in the university, but it gives them a chance outside the university. And we've got a buddy system as well. It's not just first years asking the second and third years, everyone asks everyone questions. We've got loads of different group chats and things like that as well, and that's really important. Next slide, please. Our plans for this year. So we want to build on last year's successes. We've discussed a collaboration in partnership with our local fire and rescue service, who have an amazing training facility, as well as other local organisations, on how we can give the best to our students as well. And the main things are, it's really important that we balance theoretical and practical sessions. Charity, well, we had a target of raising £1,000 for charity. We've almost 4 times that currently. And our next big one will be going up Mount Snowdon with a mannequin. So one of the full weighted mannequins, and that'll be to raise money for TASC, who do amazing work in supporting the mental health of ambulance staff. As well as the social events, we've already hosted several, and we just sort of look to carrying that on. We've got a Christmas ball in a couple of weeks, which should be a nice way before people go home for Christmas. Next slide, please. So we want to create a dynamic, inclusive community which sets the standards for the excellence in paramedic practice, and we strive to inspire and empower our members through training, socials, wellbeing, fundraising and outreach. But we also want you to empower people to be the best paramedics they can be and be the best students that they can be, because we all know at the moment it's a pressured system. It is awful to be a student at the moment as well, in terms of financials and pressures and these sort of things. And we hope that our society helps people in that way. And especially in the out of hospital environment, it's tough. We've got growing political pressures, we've got ambulance holding delays, and you also are attending some of the worst things imaginable. So if we can help students to keep their love for the profession via our society, I think we're doing something right. And the society has certainly kept me going throughout my 3 years on the course. Next slide, please. So thank you for listening, and I hope that you take my words and you can go away and figure out how you can do better as an organisation for students, and how you as a person can do better for students, but also get involved with local societies and try and help them. Thank you.